Alright, we'll solve question number 15 now. So question number 15 was, after being dropped, a certain ball always bounces back to 2 by 5 of the height of its previous bounce. After the first bounce, it reaches a height of 125 inches. Okay, so we'll write step by step everything here. After first bounce, ball reached 125, right? Ball reached 125 meters, 125 inches. Okay, so after first bounce, ball reached 125 inches. After a second bounce, ball will reach only how much? Ball will reach 2 by 5 with the height attained in the previous bounce. Now height attained in the previous bounce was 125, so ball will reach 2 upon 5 times 125. That's equal to 120. So it will reach up to 2 upon 5 125. So no need to calculate everything now, because it would be difficult to generalize later. So after third bounce, ball will reach 2 upon 5 of the previous, and previous was 2 upon 5 times 2 upon 5 times 125, right? This was the previous height attained, 2 upon 5 times 125. Now after fourth bounce, ball will reach 2 upon 5 of the previous height attained. Previous height attained was in third bounce 2 upon 5 times 2 upon 5 times 125, right? So the height attained will be 2 upon 5 times 2 upon 5 times 2 upon 5 times 125. So we can write it as 2 upon 5 times 2 upon 5 times 2 upon 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. So all 5 will cancel, so we'll left with 2 times 2 times 2. It will be 8 inches. Okay, so after fourth bounce, the ball would be able to reach only 8 inches above the ground. Alright, so once again look at the question. After being dropped, a certain ball always bounces back to 2 upon 5 of the height of its previous bounce. After the first bounce, it reaches the height of 125. How high will it reach after its fourth bounce? Don't confuse, didn't write for fourth. Some people generally make a mistake. They write for fourth bounce 2 upon 5 raised to power 4 times 125. No, because the ball after first bounce reached 125 inches. So it cannot be 2 upon 5 raised to power 4. It has to be 2 upon 5 raised to power 3 times 125. That's the height of the ball after fourth bounce. Alright. Now we'll move to next question. N and P are integers greater than 1. 5n is the square of a number and 75np is the cube of a number. The smallest value for n plus p is. Many people leave this question and attempt it. Why? I have no idea. So this question is very easy. N and p are given to be greater than 1. Do it step by step. This question is really very easy. So what we need to do is, we are given n and p are greater than 1. 5n is a square. Okay, now we will take n as 1. If n is 1, then 5n is 5. If n is 2, 5n is 10. This is not a square. If n is 3, it is 15, not a square. If n is 4, it is 20, not a square. If n is 5, it is 25. That is a square. So which is a square, right? It is square of 5. So n is equal to 5. That is confirmed. Now we got one thing. Okay, now what's the second thing? 75 and p is the cube of a number. So we need to find out p using this particular equation. So what to do now? 75 and p is a cube, right? So we can factorize it. 75 and p can be written as 3 times 5 times 5 times n times p. We know n is 5, so 3 times 5 times 5 times 5 times p. Now to make it a cube, it can be a cube if it is 3 times 3 times 3 times 5 times 5 times 5. So it can be cube if p is equal to 3 times 3, right? That means p is equal to 9. So n plus p will be equal to 5 plus 9, that is equal to 14. Alright, so 14, A option is correct, that is 14. So once again we'll look at this question. N and p are integers greater than 1. 51 is the square of a number, 75 and p is the cube of a number. The smallest value for n p is, so n is greater than p is greater than 1. 5n is the square. We know this thing because it is given in the question. 5n is the square of a number. So we'll start putting n is equal to 1, 2, 3, so on. So when n was 5, we got it 5n as 25, which is the square of a number. So n is equal to 5. Okay. Now 75 and p is the cube that is given in the question. We'll just factorize it. So what we got? If p is equal to 3 times 3, only then it can be a cube of 15, right? 3 times 5, that is 15. So n plus p will be 14. Alright, now take this question as homework. We'll do it in next part. Thank you.